Hello everybody and welcome and if you're new, welcome. It's me, it's Malcolm, and this is something that I have had on my mind, I want to say for like a couple months now, more specifically since June 30th of 2020. I finally feel ready and prepared to talk about Shane Dawson and all my feelings about all the clips I've seen, everything I've read, the videos I've seen. I just needed to absorb all the facts first before I reacted. I didn't want to react with emotions because, as many of you may have known, I am a very, very big Shane Dawson fan. However, I am one that can't ignore the truth. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna go one way or the other. I really just want to go down the middle and just give my thoughts. So I might flip-flop, but I do apologize if I seemed a little bit biased either way. This is just really my thoughts on first the racism and the blackface and all that stuff, and then later I want to talk about everything he's done with children and all the jokes that he made, because that definitely was not okay. Just to be safe, I don't want to feel like I'm profiting off of anything offensive, so this video will not be monetized, and if it gets monetized or picked up, I'm gonna do my best to make sure it doesn't, so I will try not to include any clips, but I will definitely link some videos below that you can look at for reference to what I'm talking about. Most of the things I'm definitely going to talk about are from a YouTuber called dangelowallace, who did a great job on covering everything in context. There's also Monn, who definitely went into this subject a little bit. But we're going to start from where I think everything went bad for Shane Dawson from the jump. So basically, I think what really happened, what got Shane Dawson in the hot water, was obviously the long Twitter post about James Charles and how he needed humble pie and all this. I think the James Charles stands, and basically, I think people were ready for Shane Dawson to react to something so they can dig up all these videos and call him out, because I've definitely seen on Twitter before that situation even happened that people would always mention Shane Dawson whenever he was trending, hashtag Shane Dawson's over a party, where they would post these clips, but they never got as much traffic as when he tried to address Tati, address James Charles, and the humble pie comment. I think the humble pie comment really pissed off a lot of people, and that's where it set off, in my opinion. Obviously, being Jeffree Star's friend is what seems to be a death sentence when it comes to your career, because I think every person that comes in contact with Jeffree Star has pretty much had their life ruined in one way or the other. But that's Shane Dawson, that's his life. If he wants to choose Jeffree Star to be his friend, he's a grown man, he can do whatever he wants. So we're not going to talk about that because there's no point. Obviously, he's older than me, so there's definitely not a point to talking about that. So that's where everything started for me, where I saw a bunch of these clips on Twitter. I obviously can't find them now because I think he deleted the posts. Actually, I know he deleted the post because he talked about it. So anything that was put under that post, I obviously couldn't see anymore. But D'Angelo definitely found all these clips, or he compiled them all into 1 hour-long video, and it just really opened my eyes to a lot of things. First and foremost, the blackface thing. It is obviously not okay to blackface at all. I understand that Shane Dawson was trying to go for a joke, but when it comes to trying to do jokes like that, they're never okay, first of all. And second of all, I don't think the jokes landed like Shane thought they would. I definitely know people that I don't talk to anymore, obviously, where they would make these offensive jokes, or Like they would try to get that laugh with the stereotypes or like mocking stereotypes. And when people didn't laugh, like they tried to do it even more. And I could definitely feel in like some of Shane's videos that he tried to push like the offensive jokes and see how far you could take it. And something about YouTube, you don't get live feedback. You only get the feedback like in the comment section or the like and dislike ratio button, or like on Twitter, on Facebook, or like on Instagram. So if nobody in his life really stopped him from like, hey, you know, those jokes are kind of offensive, maybe you shouldn't talk about that, or maybe you shouldn't do this video, nobody stopped him. For real, like nobody stopped him. Sorry, I keep getting notifications on my phone from like Snapchat and stuff, and like it's really distracting, so I apologize. So the thing about being a YouTuber, from what I've realized, is anything you post on your channel that has your name ultimately does like fall on you. I know D'Angelo talked about South Park like crossing the line sometimes. The thing about South Park though is that's like a whole team, so like all these people agreed that, you know, this racial joke is kind of funny, so like they put it in the show. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how some of these TV shows get away with it if they have a whole team that decides on these kind of things, but I think that's a video for another time, because that's a whole nother level of corporations and stuff to dig into that I am not ready for. But when it comes to Shane, he had a lot of adults in his life that could have stopped him, and they didn't, unfortunately. So as much as he's at fault for posting on his channel and putting his name on like all of that, I feel like, especially like with his mom, because his mom did participate in some of these videos, which was kind of bothersome because I didn't know that part until I saw like the video where she actually did say the N-word, and I was just like kind of taken aback by that part, because I actually did like Mama Dawson. I'm very little iffy on her now about that. I don't know who that, it was like a black woman in most of his videos. I don't know who she is. I didn't like really look it up beforehand, but I'm pretty sure whoever she is, she's probably looking at it now like that was kind of like a little bit of a mistake. Yeah, for me, it just felt like more so like the racial jokes just didn't land. Like, I know he was trying to be funny, but honestly, saying I'm trying to be funny and then it doesn't come off as funny, especially to like the black community, that's something you really need to reflect on and just be like, you know, maybe I shouldn't put that video out. But obviously he put out more of these types of videos because that's what his audience demographic told him that they like. It's one of those things where I'm pretty sure, because Shane Dawson is one of those people that's really reactive, and we're gonna get to that. I think that if his audience back then were a little bit older and told him, hey, this is really offensive and this isn't funny, maybe you shouldn't post more stuff like this, or hey, maybe you should take this video down, I think this group finds it offensive, I definitely think he would have. I do like to give benefit of the doubt to a lot of people. There's one quote that I do live by in my life. I don't know if a lot of people actually do. It's okay to doubt people. Like, for instance, I do doubt Shane Dawson in some instances, but I also do want to believe in him. Like, I want to believe he's a good person. So I like to live by, I do doubt him because of all the actions and of all the things he said, the blackface and like the racial jokes and like the stereotypes. But I do want to believe that he's not an actual racist, or he really meant those things. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that comment because, like, you know, but that's why opinions are opinions. If you do disagree with me, I am perfectly fine with that. However, I do believe in Shane Dawson. I also doubt him, though. I used to be 100% in on Shane Dawson. I'm obviously not anymore. I used to wear his merch all the time. I don't anymore. It just sits and collects dust in my closet. The only hoodie I wear that I bought from the Shane Dawson store is the Andrew hoodie, because Andrew, the cameraman, really had nothing to do with it. He came after all that, so I don't blame him for that part. I don't blame Garrett or, you know, Drew Monson. However, one of the things that did bother me about the videos coming out where all these other YouTubers were like in his videos, like Joey Graceffa or like his ex-girlfriend that, oh, Lisa, his ex-girlfriend Lisa, they definitely shifted blame to basically putting it all on Shane, which is something that I don't think Shane was ready for. Shane also hasn't addressed like anybody calling him out, except for Tati, to be honest with you. And like the mass videos, which led him to posting the taking accountability video, which was kind of trash, to be honest with you, because he really only focused on like a few things. He didn't focus on everything that he was called out for, which I think led to like the big backlash because he didn't address everything. I think if he just addressed everything and just called himself out and was like, yes, I said all these things, but I do not mean these things, and he just really let himself have it. I know that's probably like one of the hardest things to do, is to call yourself out when you're in the wrong, because a lot of people do have pride. It's very hard. It's very hard, but being with the big platform that you do have, I wish Shane really gave himself more. I think maybe having Ryland or like someone really close to him tell him all the things he did and why they are wrong, and then let him respond like on the spot, instead of having like a rehearsed kind of like apology. I think that would have been a little bit better, but I've never done a YouTube apology, thankfully, so I'm just gonna knock on some wood. But in my personal opinion, I just think Shane Dawson was a dude that he got really famous really fast. I think he was like around 19. I think that's when he started messaging people like Fred. If you don't know who Fred is like an OG YouTube account. I don't know if he still posts as Fred. His real name is Lucas Cruikshank, I think. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I feel like Shane Dawson is one of those people that got famous super fast, and he didn't know how to handle it, because he does talk about how he felt like he was a loser back in the day, back in high school. He wasn't popular. He really didn't do all these cool things that he's doing now. So I think it's one of those Mean Girl situations, and actually Mean Girl is a perfect euphemism for Shane Dawson's life, where they got popular super fast, they didn't know how to handle it, and then they just kind of like had everything crumble around them, which is exactly what's happening to Shane Dawson right now. I don't know how he's gonna recover from that part, but that's my thoughts on like how the racial jokes and everything, they weren't okay. They were dumb. He shouldn't have said it. It was stupid. It was offensive. I'm pretty sure he's really feeling the backlash now, because he's like kind of in hiding, but not really. I'm pretty sure he's watching on YouTube and seeing how people are still talking about him, because I think that's one of the things he does do, is he really does watch and like reflect, but he just didn't reflect the right way. So the child stuff, I feel so uncomfortable talking about this, but I don't want to be an ignorant Shane Dawson fan that doesn't see that part, because that'd be really ignorant of me. And plus, I did say I was going to be fair and unbiased. I just want to get this out the way. All those comments were disgusting and stupid and dumb and wrong and offensive. So the first clip I obviously saw was Shane at a pool talking to like this kid, talking about her chest or whatever he was doing. That was like the first clip that I saw that kind of like took me aback, because that's not the Shane Dawson I knew from the conspiracy theories and the food videos and the Spooky Boy videos with like Garrett and Drew, and just the docu-series, which we're gonna get into. That's not the Shane Dawson I met, because those kind of jokes, if I heard them back then, I'm pretty sure I would have never subscribed to him. I'm pretty sure I would have felt some type of way, but I didn't see it back then. So I only saw what I did see, which was conspiracy theories and everything like after that. So going back to D'Angelo's video, he put a lot of effort putting all these clips from like webcams, like Omegle, I think that's what it's called, Omegle, where you just randomly chat with people online, or like chat roulette or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what the name is. I apologize. So clips like that, and then the two main things that really bothered me were him kissing a 12-year-old fan, because I don't care if they beg you or they like offer you money or whatever, that is not okay to do. I know other celebrities have done this in the past, but that's also not an excuse. That is definitely not an excuse. You definitely should not be doing that, because it's wrong. Because a child cannot consent. Even if their parent is there, I'm pretty sure the parent would have been like, no, you're not kissing a grown man. That is a grown man. You're not kissing him. I think if a parent was there, I only saw the clip that I did see, because I didn't see a parent in sight. So I can only go by what I see. But from what I saw, I didn't see a parent in the area. So that was concerning. I'm pretty sure, like I said, if the parent was there, she would be like, oh, heck no, get away from my daughter. Now, the other thing that really bothered me was Shane and his mom were on, like I said, the chat roulette or whatever this site was, where you talk to random people through a webcam, and then like you can type in everything. Him and his mom told this girl to twerk. That was a very dumb, bad, disgusting look, and that honestly bothered me the most, because that is legit abusive power. First of all, like I said, I think Shane Dawson is someone that got popular really fast, and a lot of celebrities do, they don't know how to handle it, and they just use it in a way that's advantageous to them. But you also have to think about like all the other stuff, like the podcast and like the YouTube videos. Something I will say, and I know this is probably gonna get me the most hate, the jokes or whatever Shane Dawson was trying to do, it did not work. I think, like the racist jokes, I think Shane Dawson tried to force it so hard, just like he did with the Fine Brother, whatever that series was, with that puppet doll that's supposed to be an 8-year-old girl. Or like, he talked to his cousin in a certain way, talking about her chest and like telling her to twerk on her mom. Those are jokes that don't land. They do not land. They will never land. But it did bother me that he kept pushing and pushing. I think he was just trying to see how far he could go before somebody tried to stop him. And the fact that nobody did try to stop him was what bothered me. People have tried to stop him though. Like, I'm gonna reference D'Angelo's video again. I can't remember where he put the receipt up, but people did try to tell Shane Dawson that these things were wrong. You shouldn't be doing this, and this is why it's not okay. He obviously still did it because, like I said, when you have a big following, if something doesn't like reach your ear by like via retweets or like a big backlash, you're never gonna hear about it. Like, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. Like, have you seen Jeffree Star respond to anything that he's been called out for? No. Have you seen Tana Mongeau respond to anything that she's been called out for? Yes, but she did a terrible job and she's lying about it. I definitely want to get into her a little bit more, but we're not going to do that right now. We're talking about Shane Dawson. There are also, like, I don't want to like shift blame, but there are definitely other YouTubers that are on this platform right now that have actually been accused of the things Shane Dawson's been accused of and actually done it. Grooming and actually done it. Those are the main two that I know. I don't want to like use other terms because I don't want to like offend anybody, but I do know for a fact there are people on this platform that haven't really seen as much backlash as Shane Dawson. Not to say, you know, Shane Dawson doesn't deserve it, because he obviously does, but I do notice that because Shane Dawson has this huge platform and is probably he was one of the YouTube gods. Let's be real for a second. If you were like in a Shane Dawson video back in the day, like that was like your way of getting into YouTube for real, and like getting that fame and like skyrocketing. That was like your way of getting in. Now, because Shane Dawson painted himself as a like goody, never do anything wrong, I always try to help people kind of person, it comes off as fake to those that have met Shane Dawson before. Something I will say is something I always grow up on is people can change. Now, please don't leave any hate for that. Just let me explain for a second. There are moments in life where you'll have a moment of clarity. I've definitely had it because I'm not the relaxed dude that you see before you. I guess like I actually used to be a very like disturbing dude, like said inappropriate jokes, said some offensive things, obviously, that I definitely regret, and I've never tried to do it again. I also was like 18 at the time, like 18, 19, but then like an incident happened like that just changed my life and just like flipped my thinking, and it just put me in this mindset of like these things are not okay, they will never be okay, I need to change the way I think. That's why I'm so open-minded now. So the shift in Shane Dawson's content is where I came in, because like I said, I've came in on conspiracies and everything after the offensive videos, after the child grooming videos, the child, you know, child friendly but actually not child friendly videos. That's where I came in. I came on these conspiracies and all that stuff. Looking at the dramatic differences, you can definitely tell Shane Dawson had like a change. And it's not like somebody told him to change, because if Shane Dawson was getting subscribers doing what he did before, why would he change? The only thing I could think of was probably the first Adpocalypse, maybe. I think Shane Dawson changed his content a little before that, but I do think people were getting called out for like inappropriate behavior and everything. Like it happens all the time. This isn't the first time that somebody's been called out for inappropriate videos, behavior, things like that. So you can definitely tell that there was like a significant change. Maybe it happened in his life, maybe it happened in the video. I obviously haven't watched all of Shane Dawson's videos because I don't have the time for that, but you can definitely tell that there was a change. I know YouTubers have a persona, like D'Angelo said in his video. However, I do think that holding a certain persona, like, the cracks will bleed through and people will notice. Like Jeffree Star, people can notice when he's putting on like a fake persona. That's why people call him out so much. With Shane Dawson, I do feel like he really is trying to change and become more of a genuine person. I know it sounds like, oh, you're being manipulated. I think Shane Dawson saw all these younger YouTubers coming in, and then I think he saw himself and just saw that those people were making the same types of videos he used to make, and then he finally realized like, wow, these videos were kind of like offensive. He never addressed them. And something I also live by is if somebody changes or like flips the script without you having to tell them, I would believe that 10 times more than when you yell at somebody to change and then they do change, because that comes off as a little bit more fake in my opinion. Because if you're not naturally doing it, that means you're not naturally knowing what's right and wrong from that. So I will give Shane Dawson credit. I do feel like he really wants to change and become a better person. However, something that I think was his true downfall, and I know this might come off as a little bit like iffy or like hateful, but it's not. I think him getting a little bit closer to Jeffree Star was actually one of the things that led to his downfall. If you really, really want to think about it, if Shane Dawson never did a 9-episode docu-series, if he never released a makeup palette, if he never came in contact with Jeffree Star after he made that first documentary with him, I don't think Shane Dawson would be as in much hot water as he is in now, because when you're associated with Jeffree Star and they think you did something with Jeffree Star, they're going to try to find every and anything to take you down. Not necessarily a targeted assassination, but they will question your character. Because with Jeffree Star, he's done some things that he hasn't addressed that have been actually offensive and actually have hurt people, to the point where he seemed like he ignored it. So all those people that have that anger towards Jeffree, I feel like they directed it towards Shane because they know that Shane Dawson will react, and react is exactly what he did. I know I am very all over the place. I do apologize. I do not like to write scripts because I feel like writing a script for this kind of thing, like a rant video, is kind of like a little iffy and it doesn't come off as very genuine. But I did want to hit on like those key points that bother me. So just to reiterate, just go back over everything. I think the racial jokes were dumb, stupid, idiotic, but I think he learned that that was not okay. And like I said, the jokes did not land. They were never funny. The child thing, I think just those two situations were the only things that were like super problematic. I do think everything else though, I do feel like he tried to just get that shock value and was just like, yes, this is funny, without realizing how offensive and gross it was. Because if a parent ever heard the things Shane Dawson said and was like, you want to listen to him and you want to buy his merch? Absolutely not. That is what they would say to that. Like people like Jeffree Star and Tana Mojo and all the problematic people that he associated with, I think just the frustration from fans when, I think what the real deep-root issue is, all these friends of Shane Dawson did all these controversial things and they were happening at once, and they looked at Shane Dawson like, you're supposed to be like the moral ground and you're supposed to, you know right from wrong, and you're letting your friends do all these offensive things and say all these offensive things. Like how do we know you're not, going along with it? And I think once Tati released that video, it was like a done deal, because I think Shane Dawson was so on edge about everything else. It was just a boiling point to where he just went off. And when I say he went off, like that video is infamous now on Twitter, on YouTube. You can find it without even trying at this point. And then discrediting, Tati's life and like what she went through. I think that pissed off fans to the point of no return, because that was a very extremely gross thing to do. I know people have then, since that live, gone back to Tati's video and found all these inconsistencies. However, Shane still said what he said, because one thing I do know is that when you say stuff in the heat of the moment, you really do mean the things you say. I know some people are like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. No, yes, you did. When you say things in the heat of the moment, you mean what you say. You mean what you say. You mean what you say what you mean. That's what I meant to say. As a Shane Dawson fan, will I support him still? It depends. I think Peter Monn said it best. I'm like stuck in the middle right now where I don't know what to do. I want to see what Shane does first. I feel like the first thing Shane Dawson needs to do, to be perfectly honest with you, is just make a video. It started on YouTube, it ends on YouTube. Just sit down, or just go back to what you like to do. Make a docuseries about yourself. Go do all these things to, you know, let us see your progress and how you're changing, if you are changing. I know that's probably gonna come off as the fakest, like, fakest fake of the fake, but we gotta see something. I don't think Shane Dawson is gonna like disappear forever. I think his platform is too big. I do want him to just address everything, and when I say everything, I want him to pull up all the clips himself and explain what happened. Like, okay, this is what I really meant, or I don't know what I was doing here, this joke was really offensive and stupid, or I shouldn't have said this thing to this child, that was really gross. There's so many things that Shane could do, not to necessarily like win the public back. I don't think he's gonna win the public back for a while if he like truly tries to, or maybe he might just like take the money from the pallet and just like walk away into the dust. I don't see that happening though. I think Shane Dawson likes YouTube too much. I think he has too much time invested in YouTube just to walk away. But I'm not Shane Dawson. I can't read his mind. I don't know what he's thinking. I do, however, wish him the best. Do I think he did anything with children or anything like other people have? That's not for me to decide. Personally, I don't think he really did anything. Just like I don't think he's a racist. I just think he's someone that got famous and didn't know what to do with the power, so he kind of abused it. And yeah, I just think he was an idiot. I think he did some idiotic things. I really do. And that's pretty much like the nicest way I could say it, because I'm a very, very nice person. I don't want to like bash someone's character. I do feel like he is experiencing something he will never forget for the rest of his life, and he's going to learn from it. But we shall see. I don't know. That is my thoughts on Shane Dawson. Once again, it is Malcolm, that's me. I have talked enough. I will link Peter Monn's video and D'Angelo's video below so you can get all the references to everything I was talking about. But please just think about things I said. I do doubt Shane Dawson, but I also want to believe in him. That doesn't mean I do believe in him, but I want to believe in him. There is a difference in that statement alone. So just really, really think about it. If you already give up on Shane Dawson, then, you know, hello, how are you doing? If you still love Shane Dawson, hello, how you doing? I tried to be the middle ground so hard. I'm pretty sure it's gonna come off as me being more biased towards Shane Dawson, so I'm defending him. I really, didn't mean for it to come off that way. This is like my first time ever doing like a rant video, and I actually think I got out everything I wanted to get out that I was thinking about for the past 2 months. Malcolm, that's me. I'm not gonna tell you subscribe or like. This was more of like me getting it off my chest because, I do have Shane Dawson stuff posted on my channel, things I reacted to. So I think it's only fair to like, especially his fans that are subscribed to me, that to just talk about it. And if they do unsubscribe, I'm an honest guy. I'm sorry. But I do hope whatever he's doing right now, I hope he's finding help, or he's meditating, or just figuring out what he wants to do next. I know he's trying to work on a movie, but at this point, I don't know who might want to work with him until he addresses all these things. So that might be put on hold. Once again, it's Malcolm. If you want me to talk about another celebrity or another YouTuber, I've watched YouTube for like past 13 years of life, so I definitely have a lot of YouTubers in mind I would love to rant about. But if you have someone in mind, leave it in the comment below. I will definitely read all the comments you leave me. If you hate me, that's cool. I can't control how you feel. Just like you can't control how I feel. And without further ado, I wish you well. I wish you good health. And I will see you again next time.